Well, Maui in mourning. 5 days after a vicious wildfire flattened a historic town, people are trying to come to grips with the tragedy.
Tonight, crews are combing through the charred rubble looking for more victims. Here's the very latest. The death toll has now climbed to 93 people. Police say cadaver dogs have covered only 3% of the search area so far. About 1,000 people are still missing at this hour, and at least 2,200 buildings were destroyed or damaged in West Maui. As many as 4,500 people have been displaced.
The fire wiped out the historic town of Lahaina on the western part of the island. Now, Lahaina was a major tourist destination full of restaurants, shops, galleries. Now it's full of burned debris as far as the eye can see. KCAL's Jeff Nguyen joins us live in Lahaina with the very latest. Jeff, you've been there for a few days. What can you tell us tonight?
So Ross and Leslie, the governor's office says that beginning this weekend, 500 hotel rooms will be made available to displaced locals. An additional 500 will be set aside for FEMA workers. And right behind us, this new shelter opened up this morning. As the death toll rises, authorities in Maui say the effort to find and identify the dead is still in the early stages. Cadaver dogs are sifting through the rubble of thousands of buildings burnt to the ground, mostly homes.
We're bringing in more. We're bringing in more teams and more dogs so we can speed up that process as much as we can.
This man says he's searching for missing family members.
We've been to a lot of hotels inside Lahaina, but none of them are there. So we've been to police station, we called Red Cross, anywhere that we can find them, but nothing.
Access to Lahaina, the historic town in western Maui that suffered the worst devastation, remains limited.
It's closed. Nobody can go in.
While many residents are taking shelter at facilities like this community center, people all around western Maui are telling their stories of survival and loss.
And then I saw one Fred dead on the ground like a piece of charcoal, like Pompeii almost, just dead. I mean, there's nothing you could do. It was that fast.
Bill Weiland's well-known art gallery in Lahaina burned to the ground. He says the building was the first movie theater in the state of Hawaii. He escaped on his motorcycle with only his laptop and passport, leaving his car behind to be consumed by the fire.
Literally flames behind me. I could feel it burning the back of my neck. And I could see the embers all in front of me. They were swirling around because they were like 70-mile-an-hour winds. It was insane.
The investigation continues into the cause of the fire, and questions remain about why Hawaii's warning sirens were not activated to alert tourists and locals. And as the death toll rises, the big question will be how to accommodate the rising number of victims. That's because Maui only has one hospital and 3 mortuaries. Ross, Leslie.
Jeff, so much devastation. Now, earlier you told us about how you got a chance to talk with gallery owner Bill Weiland, escaping on his motorcycle. Has he been able to get back into that area?
Yes, so he was able to essentially talk his way back in the very next day. There was the road closure on the highway leading into Lahaina. That closure has since gone back up again. But so what he did was, when he was able to get in there, he was able to survey the property. I think you guys are rolling some video to kind of show some of the damage that he shared with us. But, you know, on Tuesday night when the flames were ripping through there, as he was getting out, in the piece, we talk about how he had to choose between jumping on his Harley-Davidson motorcycle or driving off in his car, and he chose the motorcycle. And initially he thought, oh my gosh, this is not the smartest thing to do, because he was getting hit by wind gusts of up to 70 miles per hour. That's his estimate. And he says that he was getting knocked around. At one point he got pushed so severely that he ended up on the sidewalk. And so as he was trying to get out of town, he said he had to try to dodge downed power lines and down trees. And as he was getting farther and farther out, he noticed that people were in cars that were basically jam-packed on the road, and a lot of people were not able to move as quickly as he was able to move. And he surmised that some of them, probably because they were stuck in all of that traffic, they probably jumped into the water. And so in hindsight, he says that he's grateful that, or he's very fortunate that he chose his Harley Davidson instead of his car. Guys.
Wow, so many amazing stories out there. Thank you so much, Jeff. We'll check back in with you in just about a half hour. Jeff Nguyen live for us tonight in Maui. And